Hello and welcome to this episode of Mind Your Business. Mind Your Business, a lot of people ask me, what is the podcast about? Well, it's a podcast that we've created which is for businesses that have been running for several years, seasoned CEOs, founders and entrepreneurs, but also for people that are thinking of getting into business or have just started their business. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Today we are joined by a very special guest, Katie Campbell. Katie, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, I'm Katie Campbell, Financial Advisor at Autonomy Finance.
Fantastic. So Katie, just for our audience and our viewers and listeners, just give us a bit of a whistle-stop tour as to what you've done so far in your career and bring us up to date with the business that you're now currently running.
Okay, so we'll try and talk quickly, which is quite hard for me. Very quick career path. Didn't know what I wanted to do when I was at school. All my friends had a plan, which they went off and followed their dreams and still do the career of their dreams. I wasn't one of those people.
Yep.
I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to work in finance and in the city and earn as much money as I could. That was the goal. So I went and worked for a bank. Started at the very bottom and then worked my way up very quickly. And because I didn't put my age on my CV, so at 21 I was running a team of 80 people in the West End. And then from there I went on to have different managerial roles at junior and senior level. Then I had children and decided to step away from management. Fast forward, that was fine. Being a mum, part-time, that was all good. My circumstances changed. I got divorced and realised I needed to earn more money because I was absolutely broke. Yeah. So I actually went back to my first job I wanted to do, but people's fears stopped me from going forward. So for 20 years, I just kind of coasted along, fell into different jobs, did move up the corporate chain. But they wasn't ever the jobs I wanted to do. They were jobs I fell into or they were just easy progression. Yep. But what I realised was I didn't like people management because that becomes with more headaches. And even if you're good at your job, if your team is not good at theirs or in a happy place, that can really drag you down. Yeah. So I decided to be more about me. And I know if I've got a challenge, I can achieve it. Yeah. So my actual dream was to become a financial advisor. Okay. But a lot of people's fears become my fears, and so I didn't go forward with it for 20 years. So people used to tell me, you won't be able to do it, you won't pass the exams, it's too compliant. And then when I sat back, I realised that was their fears, not mine. So I did go and get qualified.
Yeah, wow, good for you. So this was how long ago?
9 years ago.
Okay, so then bring us up to speed from the last 9 years then.
So I got qualified. My plan was to stay with my current employer. I quite liked them. And I approached a financial advisor locally and said, I've got a job, I love my job, I'm not looking for a job, but I am getting qualified. Could I come and learn from you? Because all I know is the corporate way, and actually I think there's another way to do things. So I just wanted to learn. And he said to me, I've never had anyone in 30 years ask to come and do my job or just to learn from me, and that you're doing the exams. So he said, come along and meet me. So I did. And then he said, do you want to join my practice with a view that I take over his business to give him an exit plan in his business and set up on my own? And he said he would match my current salary I was on. That's not what I went into the room with, but I just said yes. I didn't know how I was going to make it work or what it was going to look like, but I knew it was an opportunity I was going to go for and make it work.
Wow. And so that then brings us up to speed now. So the business that you've been running now for, is it 18 months?
18 months.
Okay.
So I set up my own practice 18 months ago. After joining and learning from another practice, I then set up myself last year.
Well, congratulations first and foremost on doing that. Just one question. You mentioned a couple of times there about other people's fears, and those fears then in turn became your fears. So I guess one of the questions I'd like to ask is, how did you do that? How did you overcome the fears that were other people's that you've then said then became your fears, but then you said, kind of, fuck it, just do it anyway?
I think I did just have to say, I'm going to go for it. And what's the worst that can happen? I knew I could pass the exams. My ex-husband had gone through the exams, but was currently my ex-partner.
Yeah.
And so my biggest driving force was, he said, you will never pass those exams.
Right.
And that stayed with me. So I did pass them. And there was occasions I might not have passed first time, but I was determined more than anyone else to pass those exams. And I think what I've learned, the people who hurt you is not your enemies. It's the people that you've loved or love.
Yeah.
And actually, if they say something quite detrimental, that is fire in my belly to overcome that.
Yeah.
So him telling me I wouldn't be good enough or I wasn't clever enough to pass the exams, that was my driving force.
Wow, that's brilliant. It's quite often I hear people talk about pain and pleasure, and some people work and move towards pleasure, and some people are driven by moving away from pain.
Yeah.
So which camp do you think you come in?
I've never been asked that question before. I do like more pleasure activities. I don't like sitting in a pain or discomfort zone. So the quicker I can get out of that zone and into a more content, happy place, I'm more comfortable sitting at.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so now we're into your business, your current business that you're running.
Yep.
What would you say have been some of the biggest challenges that you've faced in running the business, even if it was the original setup or anything that's happened over the last 18 months?
I think I've got my original business plan I had for this business in 2018, and it was kind of like an apprenticeship business plan that you put forward. It was vetted and annihilated and restructured, and you learn from it. And that was part of the interview process of coming on board. I still have that plan, and everyone said to me that plan will change. And everyone said to me, who you think will be a client won't be, and people who you can't even imagine will be your clients will be. I've got people who was my manager when I was 20 from my first employer now ringing me up to be their financial advisor, and they come from a banking finance background, and that blows my mind. That just the journey we've both been on differently, but we still come back together. Yeah,
no, that's really powerful, and must make you feel pretty good that you've got somebody coming to you for advice that used to be your manager, right?
Yeah, it's quite a special interaction that comes back. So I think your business plan will not stay as your business plan.
Yeah.
And you've got to evolve and adapt. So our industry regulations change very quickly. And one of my mentors said, you adapt very quickly to change. And he said, and that's what allows you to carry on and be successful. If you have got a change that's nothing to do with you, but regulation that's coming down, if you sit and moan about it for too long, you're going in that pain place, and it's not comfortable and it's not achieving anything. You've just got to go, I don't like it, let's get on. How do we make this work?
Yeah, I think it's one of the key things is being adaptable and being able to change quickly.
Yeah. Without having any resentments of how something used to be or we've done it a certain way. You've just got to go, let's move forward, let's make it work. My aim every time is to be successful. I have quite high targets on myself. And there's always going to be background noise, whether that's people, changes, winning a client, losing a client, something that's out of your control. You've just got to keep navigating and moving forward for that end goal.
Absolutely. And what is the end goal?
I do have an end goal. So
do you want to share that?
So when I started my business 18 months ago, I had a figure in mind of what I wanted to get the business value up to and sell for, or part sell. I've achieved my 10-year plan in 8 years of my plan I've achieved in 18 months.
Wow.
So I've revised my plan.
Yep.
And it's got a resale value of what I want to get my business to sell, because that's what I believe I want for my ongoing retirement.
So the 10-year plan is now what plan?
So there's still a 10-year plan.
Okay.
But I've just achieved some of the numbers a lot earlier than I expected.
Right, so the value of the business has gone up considerably. Yes. If you've achieved how many years in 18 months?
So 8.
You've achieved 8 years of your plan in 18 months.
Yes.
So another 6 months and you're going to be there, right?
No, because then just because I hit the plan doesn't mean the plan stops.
You've evolved.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, if I've achieved this, I can make the plan bigger and better. And actually, this is more. But I think once you're in business, you never know what's going to be a good year, a bad year, what are going to be your peaks, what are going to be your downfalls, what do you need to react quickly to. And so I never reduce the plan. The plan always stays. It just grows.
Yeah. I love that. So, okay, so one of your wins would be to have achieved 8 years of your plan in 18 months. So what other wins have you had since you set the business up 18 months ago?
Not lost any clients.
Cool.
So once you come on board as a client, it's really important to me you stay and we look after you sort of now and in the future. So client retention is at the heart of what we do.
Yeah.
I love seeing my clients grow and have successes, and even if it's things they can't share on social media or with their friends and family, some things are personal, but being their cheerleader and just helping people make better decisions.
Yeah.
And it can be sometimes the small things and not the big investments that you do that I actually see some of the more internal success from.
Yeah. Love that. I love that. Okay, we're going to go on to a quick fire round now.
Okay.
So edge of the seat sort of stuff.
Ooh,
so
fresh stuff.
First one, what's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
So I got this piece of advice when I was in a difficult situation. So life maybe had not taken the plan I'd wanted. And the best advice I used and adapted, and it was from another entrepreneur, successful, and I believe if we spend more time with good people, then we can be better ourselves, we can improve. And her advice was to meditate every evening, to do your affirmations and gratitude, to exercise for 30 minutes every day. Doesn't matter how you move your body, but move your body. It's whatever you like doing, walking, swimming, running, walking the dog, anything more adventurous. So for more than 14 months, I have exercised every day in some way, shape or form. I have done my gratitude every evening. So even on a bad day, you're subconsciously telling yourself to wake up better in the morning. And I meditate now as well. And I can honestly say this has changed my mindset and my outlook.
Wow, that's really powerful stuff. It's a great share, thank you. And I'm sure the audience will agree with that one. What's one book or podcast that you'll always recommend?
The Secret.
The Secret.
Law of Attraction.
Why?
Energy. What we put out comes back. How you see yourself, how you see your business, how you see your friends and family. It's all energy. If you're like, oh, everything's terrible for me, and go into more, I don't like the world or this place, that is what comes back. If you just take a step back and be present, be grateful for the roof over your head, the food in your fridge, your children, your parents, your health. These are things that can't be taken away from you.
Yeah, no, I love that. What's one tool that you can't live without?
One tool I can't live without. My computer.
Your computer.
Because if I have my computer, I can work anywhere in the world.
That's a very good point, because I know you like to travel a little bit.
I do like to travel. I do like to have 5 holidays a year.
Why not? So you've been on some nice holidays this year?
I have a mixture of adventure and relaxing.
Nice. And you've got some planned for next year?
I do.
You want to share any of those destinations?
There'll be a couple of girls' trips, some family holidays, Europe, and then a little bit further afield.
Scuba diving, maybe?
It might be in there, yes.
Brilliant. Okay, last question. What was your first job?
Honestly, okay. A waitress. Worst thing that ever happened to me. Table of 40, big celebration. Brought the roast dinner out. Man in a lovely white shirt. Tipped his whole roast dinner into his lap. I was mortified, cried. I went to the kitchen. I was like, need another roast dinner. He was like, why? He goes, are they not happy? I said, no, I've thrown it in his lap. He's wearing the gravy. And I was like, I'll pay for your dry cleaning. I don't know what to do. So I told my manager and she got them a round of drinks and desserts, but I then had to keep going back to the table. So the jokes were, woo, no gravy on us, don't let her near us.
And didn't stay very long in that job?
No, not very long. I'm not destined to be a waitress.
Well, obviously not. Obviously not. Okay, so what are you currently working on?
So I've got my 2026 plans for my business and personal. That is up and running. New office.
Nice. So what, growing?
Yes.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
So plans for 2026 in the business. Can you allude to any of the plans that you've got coming up for next year?
To keep my existing clients and to grow and keep growing for the next 10 years. I don't see myself disappearing anytime soon.
Yeah.
I've still got the energy to carry the business forward and make it work as much as I can.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Katie, as you know, you and I could probably sit here for the next couple of hours, but these guys have got things they need to do. The audience, the viewers, the listeners, they're going to want to find out more about you, more about the business. What's the best way for them to do that?
So you can contact us on our Instagram page at Autonomy Finance. There's a website as well, www.autonomyfinance.co.uk, and we're also, and all our contact details are on there.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today, Katie. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. And for our viewers and listeners, thank you very much. You have just watched the episode, the festive episode of Mind Your Business, and thanks to not only Katie, the guest, but also to the team here at Media Marketing Solutions, who without these guys, we wouldn't be able to put this together. So thanks very much to the team at MMS as well. So it just leaves me to say, I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas and a wonderful New Year, and we will see you all again very soon. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.